So, it's turned out pretty good. It's got 3 coats of epoxy. I sanded down a little bit here, and it feels pretty good. It's not totally smooth. A primer and a top coat might just get rid of the texture if I sand it well enough. Epoxy apparently is not good with UV in the long haul, so it should be painted. So I should paint this. It's going to be up on the roof. So that's one thing I've been thinking about. The other is how I'm going to tape around these corners. I want to put a strip of fiberglass around all the corners, all the joints basically. I do want to bring the fiberglass up over the top here. I could just epoxy up here to waterproof it, but I have to have at least some overlap of the glass. And the problem with that is that fiberglass doesn't like to go around sharp corners. Not to mention heavy fiberglass like I'm using. So I'm not sure. I'm going to obviously round off these corners some so it's not totally a sharp corner. Even that is going to be a pretty tight curve. And the only other thing I've thought or read about is possibly putting my fiberglass strip on here and then actually taking tape and taping it down. Something like packing tape that is plastic and won't stick to the fiberglass. I also want to wrap the fiberglass underneath, so that's another tough one. So that's one thing. The other is how in the heck I'm going to fiberglass that. At one point I had read that you just coat it with epoxy, and then when it gets sticky you can put your piece of fiberglass up there and it will stick. But I also need to get a whole lot of epoxy on that fiberglass, and I'm not sure about doing it upside down. So I've been thinking about how to tip this whole thing onto the side so that I can fiberglass that as a vertical surface. Maybe. If you got any ideas on that, let me know. So I tilt it up and I can lay it onto something on that side. It's going to be interesting. So, right now, I think I'm going to do some cleanup. Try and get some of this sanded up and trimmed, and I need to do some more fairing, filling in some holes, sanding it down. That's nasty. Crack in there. But yeah, trying to get all this stuff, corners rounded off. Basically prepping for fiberglass. See here, I filled in this corner. I can sand that down, hopefully, to make it round. This all has to be rounded off. This needs to round off. That's what's up. Gorgeous day today. and tomorrow, and I think the next day is all supposed to be good, but then a heat wave coming. So I'd like to get some stuff done before the heat wave shows up. Little sanding, take care of that. It's so easy to switch that I might as well put on something a little bit more gritty. We'll see if this makes quicker work of it. A little. I decided to try my 36 grit. I'm kind of scared. I could take your face off. Probably not a great place to have the camera. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That works quick. 36 grit? Where have you been all my life? Well, I like that 36 grit. Almost feels like a planer. Just takes it right down. If you're not careful, it's too much. So, I'm switching back to my other lower grit. I did this spot here. I don't know what that is. Bad spot in the plywood, but it made pretty quick work of that bubble crack in there. Feels a lot better, so that's good. I was thinking I'd putty a little bit on there, maybe, but probably not necessary. Got all the major sticking out parts sanded down. The rest of them I'm going to do with a little more subtle grit of sandpaper so that I don't ruin anything. So, I'm going to go have some dinner. Come back out later. See ya.